we picked up with you all traveling once again, following your ventures at the little Mistran obelisks at the side of the road that revealed the strange artifact and other such things. As you traveled the road for a while, there was some discussion on the road, I believe, and I'm trying to remember exactly what happened during the travel section of the session, because it's at the back of my mind in terms of things that happened that session.
Astrid had me identify the ice.
Yes. Yeah, so we picked up after you had rested at your camp. You were in the midst of identifying the ice for Astrid, to which Silas found that the ice was very strange and basically found nothing from the ice itself, which was strange. No magic, and did some other tests that made him believe that this was a strange item. As you all continued traveling. Eventually, you would come across, as you traveled a couple days down the road, first it would start to snow, and the snow would blanket the ground and possibly impede you, but luckily in the distance you saw what looked like a fortress, like a fort surrounded by stone walls that had lights from it, and the draw gate open, with people obviously outside manning the road, clearing it of the snow. As you all approached this building, this fort, and were informed that it was a sort of stationary, not stationary, it was a station between here and Breeline for the road, so that travelers had somewhere they could take reprieve, as the roads to Breeline are dangerous, particularly at night, as they are set upon by monsters and other sorts of creatures from the surrounding area. Some questions were asked of the innkeep and other individuals staying at the inn about what sorts of things are dangerous along the road and so on. Some questions about the goblins, in fact, which the party was enlightened some on after asking the questions. But the real crux of what happened that session came as you all had settled in for the night. After you all had found your place, Soul had begun gambling and playing this very simple dice game with some guards from the fort itself. While the rest of the party enjoyed a nice meal, Silas went up to go to sleep, and then a strange man entered the inn, dressed in very fanciful clothing, this tan-skinned, elvish man with, I believe I said black hair with streaks of red going through it, very stylized, approached over to the bar with a saunter to his step, and proceeded to speak with Josie in a rather, I wouldn't say accusatory tone. It was more a playful tone, like akin to, a playful tone. As he essentially bantered on with Josie about things he clearly already knew about, trying to maybe get her to be honest or perhaps enjoying the panic. As this man was clearly looking for Josie, and it had something to do with her gun, it seemed. Josie, in a panic, did not want to tell this man anything about her, and attempted to lie several times, though, to really no avail, it seemed. This man was not buying it, or he was just... or if he was buying it, he was antagonizing you either way. Nonetheless, eventually Silas was called down with Josie using the bag, and this man left after leaving an offer for Josie, talking about how her gun was a violation of her making it and taking it was a violation of her homeland's laws. And while they have legal precedent to pursue and punish you for that, doesn't necessarily mean they have to. He left you with an offer for employment, in fact, saying that his boss was looking for talented individuals and that Josie was in fact talented after being able to turn what was essentially garbage into a piece of garbage art. So he left, leaving a strange metal card with him, and then sauntering out. Emblazoned more by panic now, Josie rushed upstairs to her room, only to be followed by basically everybody in the party but Soul, who rushed after Josie up the stairs and sort of strong-armed their way into needing to talk about this, despite Josie clearly not wanting to. Very much forced their way to have this conversation, as what was the nature of what had just happened was spoken about, and it was explained several things about Josie and Silas's circumstances as the party began to learn their circumstances and perhaps understand the danger of traveling with them a bit more, though this did not seem to deter most in the party. We ended session after that conversation had concluded. Several people had several different ways they would have liked to go, but this session we will be picking up, however briefly or however long it takes, with Soul and what is going on downstairs after that had happened. So before we get back into it, I would only dare to ask, does anyone have any questions, comments, or concerns, or anything I left out of the recap that was important, they feel? It's very possible I was a bit brief this time.
Just as a reminder, Silas gave Ashford back the ice thing. I believe Josie has the metal card, and Soul still wanted to try to melt the ice thing?
Yes, I imagine.
That's it for me.
Anybody else? Okay, so we pick back up downstairs, basically immediately following the strange man's departure. As basically the entire inn would have been frozen and like locked on what was happening with this strange man the minute he set in, and the minute that it started to get rowdy over by the bar. After he sets out, however, the guard who is in the midst of his off-duty guard takes a sip of his mug of ale and would just go, well, that was fucking weird, and then turn back to look to you, Soul. So my question, I suppose, to you, Soul, would be, you kind of touched on it last week, what you were wanting to do, but what are you looking to happen here with this off-duty guard? You got like a static thing going on, by the way. I don't know. You sound like you're trapped in like cyberspace and yeah. It sounds good.
No staticky?
No staticky.
I guess she'd just stay up for another 4 hours, just till they leave.
The guards?
Yep.
Okay, so your original plan, or your flirting idea that was happening last week, is that out the window now?
Out the window.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, and they would remain and stay drinking for a while. You'd not get, like, one of their names ever, formally, unless you asked. They don't say them at all, really. Maybe you catch it in, like, a glance, maybe, with them talking to each other, but they don't particularly introduce themselves. And they would eventually leave, after, like, an hour of drinking, heading back to the barracks to go and drink. And, I mean, before I get to that then, because I didn't necessarily expect that to be that short, I imagine the rest of the group would have had their chance to, like, move back to where they wanted to go after. And I will get back to you right after I know where everyone else is going, Sol. I just want to know what vicinity they will be in. So what is everyone doing after the conversation with Josie has ended?
What time of night?
It's nighttime. Late. You wouldn't know the exact time. Just it was late when you arrived and hours have passed.
I guess I would just stay downstairs, maybe stay downstairs for a bit.
Okay, that's fine. I just want to know the vicinities of people and where they're going to do things. So Caroline is downstairs. Is anyone else just going back downstairs?
Isaac would go downstairs, go to the bartender, ask for 2 tankards of water, and bring one up to Josie, offer it to her, and just be like, I understand that was hard for you, but if you, you have friends here. And he'd give her the tankard of water and shyly probably go to his room.
Yeah, she'd take it from you, but she's not really responding.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. And then you're going to your room? Are you going to sleep?
Yeah, if it's late.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else going downstairs?
Silas would go downstairs, try to see if he could get a blanket or chance for rent or whatever from the keep, and he's gonna bundle up and take some time outside, just outside the door. He's not going walking anywhere.
I see. So you're going out. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I guess they could lend you, like, a blanket that could be used for sitting outside. That's fine.
You guys have extra pillows.
Okay. What is everyone else doing then? Beryl, what are you doing?
Probably spend, like, a couple more hours downstairs, reading.
So you're going downstairs. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get this done quickly because I was gonna go back
Okay.
to Seoul.
Okay.
And I was only letting people do a bit longer for certain things, even though that wasn't my original intent. Astrid, what are you doing?
Go into her room, easy.
Okay. You going to sleep?
Not yet. She's just chilling though. She's not doing anything important.
Okay.
As a reminder, Silas asked Astrid to stay the night with Josie.
Never mind.
Okay. Then real quick, I'm gonna go back to your soul. So they depart, and by this point, Silas has come back down the stairs and has, set up outside. You can probably see him through one of the windows. Carolina is back, sat at the bar. Josie, I didn't ask what you were doing, actually, and I'm sorry about that, I just realized. But I didn't know when you planned to do that thing, so what are you doing?
She's staying in a room. If Astrid tries to stay in her, she's going to try to get her to leave.
So if that's going to be more involved, I'll get back to that in a minute then. So by this point, Silas outside, you can see through the window. Carolina is at the bar, and Beryl as well is at the bar reading. So what would you be doing, Soul? Or what do you intend to be doing?
This is after everybody's already left.
Yeah, this is after the guards have left already, yeah.
She'll turn in for the night.
So you're just gonna turn in for the night?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Okay. Alright. Then I guess, Josie, you're gonna ask Astrid to leave. Are you... Go ahead. I mean...
So yeah, if Astrid's still in her room, she'll just turn to her and go, I appreciate the kindness, but I've got some things I need to do, and I prefer to just have my space to do them.
I unfortunately promised Silas. I'm going to stay here, Josie. I'm not going to talk to you if you don't want to be spoken to. I'm not going to watch you if you don't want to be looked at, but I'm going to be a presence in the room.
Did you promise Silas you had to stay with me, or you had to stay in this room?
I'm not going to go over semantics with you. Whichever one it was, the implication was that I watch you stay with you.
Okay. So then Josie will try to go find Silas.
Okay. It wouldn't be hard. You'd find him outside, in a blanket.
Call off your guard dog.
Hello.
I'm sorry.
I got things I need to do, and I don't need an emotional babysitter.
I don't think you need babysitters, Josie. Has kind of looking Josie over. It's up to you, Astrid. As far as I'm concerned, whichever way you decide, you've fulfilled your word to me.
I mean, I can just sit in a corner and look at the wall.
I'm a whole ass adult. If I say I need some time to myself, I just need some time to myself. I've got shit to do. I just had a pretty major life-altering thing happen to me. If I need a friend, I'll ask for a friend. Jeez.
Barkeep walks past you guys as he's walking back in the bar after clearly disposing of something. Just quickly looks over to you and says, "No shouting on the porch." He just walks back in.
Now I've gotten in trouble.
It is the middle of the night in this small fort as well, so...
It's hardly trouble. I'm next. I'll either be out here or next door if you need anything, Josie. I wouldn't say Josie, you'd say sister.
Alright, and then she's gonna try to go back up to her room.
Sure. Alright. As you head back up in the room on that note, the barkeep does walk back over. You would have seen him exit Beryl and Carolina as he clearly went to go take care of something outside, as he would walk back. Not get back behind the bar, as he'd just look to the both of you and go, "Right, well, we're closing up. You can stay down here if you like, as long as you don't take anything, though. Wouldn't be the best idea. But we won't be serving any more drinks, so, just letting you know."
Well, alright, that's fine. I was just reading anyway, but I can go up to my room.
Just nods to you, as he would exit after that, just informing of the situation, as it's clearly a bit later into the night now. Josie, what are you doing?
Cool. She's going to, like, sit cross-legged on the floor where there is the most space.
Uh-huh.
And she is going to very methodically break down the big gun.
Break down in what way?
She's going to take it into pieces, basically. Now, this would require a slightly more knowledge of how the inside of the gun would work. But essentially, all the outside bits...
You're wanting to take it apart?
Yeah.
Are you trying to do
to
this
be in pieces.
delicately to try and, like, preserve the bits of it? Or are you just tearing it apart?
She wants to preserve, like, the guts, like the mechanical innard parts. I think one of them is called a hammer, and one of them...
It's like the hammer. And, like,
there's
so the actual, like, function parts.
Yes, but only the ones that can be sort of concealed within the workings.
So you're trying to conserve the core components, but get rid of, say, like the building blocks of it.
Yes.
Like you don't want the miscellaneous bits that is used to, like, fix everything together. You want the core components that need to be built upon.
Yes.
Okay.
And particularly any parts that would say, I don't know, be very recognizable.
Well,
like gone.
You unfortunately you would know looking over these bits. Looking at the gun, it immediately springs to your mind that this is instantly recognizable, really, to anybody from your homeland, even if they've not seen a gun made of that. Like it just looks like something that you'd find in the ruins. And unfortunately, you would be aware that any bits that you get from it likely are going to be about the same. The quality of metal really, really speaks to what you find in those particular places. However, these core components aren't necessarily things that you need to have out on you. They're small, you can have them in pouches, you can carry them around and such in concealable places. But if that...
potentially retrofitted into a new, less recognizable gun?
The core components, assuredly, yeah, because they're just the stuff working on the inside. But, yeah. But on their own, if someone saw, like, say, the core components from it, they would be able to tell what it's from. That being said, to salvage and, like, have these functional still, I will get, like, your scavenger skill check thingy that I gave you, whatever that is. Obviously, at advantage, I believe that's the thing you get advantage on it. Oh, actually, I'd even just say you can roll your gunsmithing tools at advantage, in fact. Because it's working in reverse in a sort of funny way. Yeah, you're able to preserve, like, the most important bits. But you know that, like, other important bits for the core, you just, unfortunately, discard for the sake of, like, time. With how quickly you want to get this taken apart.
Yeah, that's fair.
And eventually, like, after a series of maybe, like, a half hour or less, you have the gun completely in pieces, everything strewn out, and I'd say you set the core bits that you can salvage to the side, and you can just put that in your inventory as a handful of scrap core pieces.
Cool, and she's, like, kind of Marie Kondoing it, like, going through each piece and
right.
like, thanking it for its service, but
sure.
knowing that it no longer serves her.
Sure.
And she's not crying, but if someone tried to talk to her, she probably would start crying. She's, like, that close.
Right.
To,
it's like, holding it in, but...
There's a reason no one's allowed to be in the room right now. And then she is going to... It's really fucking late.
Yes, and it'd be even later by this point.
Yeah.
Be like about a half hour.
After that is all done, she's going to put the salvageable parts, like, in the, like, wrapped in, like, her, like, one change of clothes. She's gonna, like, wrap them in a shirt and keep them at the bottom of her bag.
Mm-hmm.
And then she will put the pile of metal, like, on, like, the bedside table and put the card on top of it, and then she will attempt to meditate for sleep.
Okay. So go over. You were putting a pile of metal and the card on top of it on the bedside, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then you're going to meditate.
Yes, but she's kind of like meditating facing the pile of metal.
Okay.
It's very dramatic.
And are you intent to do something upon the completion of your meditation, like early in the day?
At like first daybreak. Yeah.
Okay, so I will get back to you upon that then. Okay. Then... Yeah, I guess I sort of rushed you guys through figuring out where you were to try and, like, get some stuff done. So, if anyone would like to speak up and say if there's something they would like to have been doing during the night, they can do so now. Like, is there something that you wanted to do that wasn't sleep, or wasn't, well, before sleep? I know I rushed some of you through it.
Astrid would like to play outside in the snow, looking at the moon.
Right, same vibe as usual.
Yeah.
Okay. Astrid, it's not as cold as you're used to as you go out there. Again, I wouldn't say you don't feel the cold, but, you know, you're used to the cold already, but it seems like it's bothering you even less, perhaps a product of, you actually spending time on the road and traveling by this point. You're not sure, but just an observation you note as the snow comes down.
Nice.
Anyone else?
Silas would still be out there while he's playing. Probably do a crate bonfire somewhat near the two of them for warmth purposes.
Sure.
Beyond that, he's just gotta look gazing about out there as if he's doing more thinking than really looking.
Sure. So this is my, like, final thing of the night, like, note that I'm doing for you guys, so next step will be you guys go to bed and then morning stuff is why, so this is the, like, final note there to make it more clear before I move us on. But, okay.
Yeah, just once the bartender comes in to tell us, like, you know, they're closing up, that's when Carolina will just head to bed.
Sure, okay, so you go to bed then. That's fine. Beryl, are you reading the Destin Chronicles?
I think I was working on... Hang on. I have it in my note. Yes, the Chronicles of
Okay.
Destin by the Arcanicus.
Yes, there'll be something that I will send you about that later in the future, but as of this, I've not really gotten the time to sit down and get that out of the way, so...
Fine.
It'll be in the future. When that future will be, we shall see. Okay, though, if nobody has anything that jumps to their mind as something that they needed to do before sleeping, I would say that all of you venture to sleep and head to rest that night. Two things. Isaac, as you head to go to bed, why don't you give me a charisma saving throw? Interesting. And Astrid, why don't you give me a wisdom save at disadvantage?
Little Daddy needs his magic item.
And I will tell you why when I get to you. Wow, okay. That's still rather good save. Well, no, actually, it's disadvantage. Why did I think it was? It's 8. I'm stupid. I say things and I forget them instantly. I was talking about that at work the other day, so it's interesting. Okay. Isaac, as you move to sleep, you sort of feel this, like, faint tugging, like, almost at, like, the back of your neck, like, just right below your ear, something just tugging you on the inside of your head as you sleep. As you hear the voice of fucking... How am I forgetting this guy's name? You hear the voice of Barbas as he speaks in your mind, with the tugging on the side of your neck, it feels like. And it's not, like, painful necessarily, but it's thoroughly unpleasant, the tugging. Like, someone, like, just pulling on a string of flesh, like, just below your ear. And he sort of speaks aloud in your mind to you. You do not get a chance to respond, nor do you feel as though you could have any agency in this. As he goes, you see some very interesting things. I was hoping that when I stirred you to go and dispel that pesky little magic at that obelisk, you would, I don't know, take that little beautiful piece of arcane history with you, but you didn't. That's alright, you know. Some people just don't got the moxie to do stuff like that. I get it. But now things are getting a bit more out of hand. I'm going to tell you once more, because you don't have much time to benefit from this deal any longer. I need you to give me something so that I can help you. Feed me a small magical item again, something bigger. I told you what I need, and you need to get that, or you need to get something to delay me getting that. Because I won't be here much longer, and if you want to rely on me, and you do, you're gonna work on that. And just as a little bonus, I'll let you understand why this is so important to me. So feel as I feel for tonight, Mr. Darrow. And you then feel just this tugging turn into just a stroke across like a vein or a nerve in the side of your neck. I need a Constitution save. Okay. Yeah,
I have a brain aneurysm.
You feel an intense wave of hunger go through you as you attempt to sleep. Just this almost maddening starvation going through you. Just a hunger that you cannot beat, that almost drives you mad. But as you feel it, your body somehow strengthened enough that it does not prevent you from getting any sleep. You're able to eventually become numb to it and get your rest. And that's that. That is what happens with you, and you will awake in the morning at some point. Astrid, for you, you have a bit of a stranger dream to say. Let me find my music for this. As Astrid, you sleep, and your mind sort of recalls to the very bold and very heartfelt proclamations of your friends toward Josie the night before. You know, just their affirmations of sticking by them despite sticking by her despite what's to come. And that sort of rings throughout your mind as you are lulled into sleep. And you groggily sort of have this dream but it's hard to make out. It's like you're peering through a fogged over window, a window covered in just a cold, icy fog. As you see vague shapes of individuals gathered, 7 of them gathered, and a sort of, again, affirming presence to them, like giving the same sort of feel and vibe to the proclamations and claims to stick by each other, the vows of friendship that you saw before, but low wisdom save, you are unable to decipher any of it. This foggy, cold window-like vision keeps you from seeing it, and after going and returning back to sleep, when you awake the next morning, you will have completely forgotten about the dream entirely. And that's that. So then, knowing that you have such a early thing you wish to do in the morning, Josie, the morning does in fact come for you. And what would you be doing?
Is the pile of metal able to fit into my bag?
Yeah, you could make it fit, or you could, carry it like a bag, depending on how you'd like.
She would like to make it fit.
Yeah, you could make it fit. But you know that's not a viable long-term thing you can do, doing that.
That is fine. She doesn't need to do it long-term.
Sure. So, you would do that. And it's sort of like when you really push the packing, and it's just not great. Your the flap of the bag is, slightly open still. You can sort of creep in and see a bit of the stuff.
If I got pulled over by the cops, I would look extremely suspicious.
Correct.
Okay.
It's a good thing there are no guards anywhere in this fortress filled with soldiers.
That's fine. They're not suspicious of me. She's going to go try to find the blacksmith she heard so much about last night.
Blacksmith. 1 second. Was there a blacksmith? Am I crazy?
There was. I can tell you what you said about them if you'd like.
Please, I'm not recalling it instantly. And it's probably because I'm partly sick.
Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, they have a blacksmith that mostly, makes nails.
Oh, yes! Okay, sorry.
Not like a cool blacksmith.
No,
just
that's
like a boring one.
That's why I wasn't recalling that, was because, they work on very menial stuff. Construction, equipment and such on. Okay, sure. As you would, go to find, this blacksmith, you'd head over to the, barracks, where you assume it is, and, there'd be early morning, guard out at the front, and as you approach, this, human man would just yawn, obviously tired, working the shift in the morning, or perhaps working over from the night, as he'd look to you, straighten up and go, "It's the barracks, ma'am, what can I do for you? What can I do for you?"
Can I use your fire? Or can you use your fire, but I tell you what to do with it?
What?
I need to melt something.
This is the guard outside the barracks, by the way, not the actual blacksmith yet.
Oh. Can I get to the blacksmith?
You want to speak to the blacksmith?
Or someone thereabouts, yes.
About what, if I can ask?
Forges?
It's not technically a lie, I guess. So you can roll a persuasion check. And this guy looks very sleepy, I'll tell you. So maybe that'll inform you that might not be too bad. Okay, so he'd look you over.
I have a donation.
Oh, donation. Let me go ask him if he's up. I don't know if he's awake at this hour. I would have to check. And I'd have to check if he was taking visitors. What should I tell him if he asks what you're here for?
I'm looking for quick discussion about their forge.
Alright, and you have a donation?
Yeah.
Okay. I will ask. So he'd go off. He'd walk off and go to ask about the blacksmith. He'd come back not too long after and goes, I mean, I guess you can see him. I'll be there. No, he wouldn't say that. That's not true. I guess you can see him. Don't take too much of his time, though. He appears to not be in the best mood early this morning.
He can join the club, and she will walk in.
Sure. You'd find yourself inside the barracks, and you just, see stone corridor, that you're being led down there, iron doors and such. Sorry, wooden doors that are closed, that you are led right past as you're led, back to the back of the corridor and downstairs. Then after you walk down the stairs, you walk for a bit, and then it starts to feel a bit hotter. Very obvious heat in the air. And you come to a large square-ish room. No doors. Several chimneys about the room, obviously going up. And just this steam in the room as you see a forge and what looks like a high elven man with short blonde hair sat in front of a workshop-like desk that has, all sorts of, hammers and tools and such about it, as he appears to be, examining a piece of metal bar, perhaps, that was made as he's looking it over. As you'd walk in, and he'd turn to look at you, and you have this, bags under his eyes, burns across his arms, and such. You just go, "What can I do you for?"
I need to melt some metal.
I was told you asked for my forge and had a donation.
Yeah, I mean, you can keep the metal, I just need it melted.
So you're giving me metal that you want melted?
I want it gone. I would recommend you melt it down.
What do you want from this exchange?
She'll dump the pile of scrap out of her bag.
That's nice looking metal.
Yeah, well,
it's a bit rusty, but
right,
it looks good.
Yeah, it's causing a heap of trouble, so I need it gone.
Wait, what sort of trouble is it causing?
You know how sometimes people got a real good eye for metal?
What are you looking to get from me in exchange for this metal?
Literally all I need for you, I mean, I just need it gone. Preferably melted down, because like I said, I don't think...
I mean, just...
I can give you something else if this metal's not good. I got more that's not causing me trouble.
No, So, you don't want anything from me, but you're giving me this quality-looking metal.
How about this?
You say the metal's trouble. Are you passing troubles on to me?
No, I got a better deal. I came up with a better plan in the middle of this conversation. Let's just melt down this metal that causes trouble, and we'll just get rid of it, and then no trouble for everyone, because that's how fire works. And in exchange for use of your very high-powered forge to get rid of this trouble metal, I will give you this, and then she'll dump out 7 steel ingots. This metal is not trouble, it's just good, high-quality steel.
Where'd you get this from?
I got it from the Minotaur camp.
Ooh. Where'd you get that?
The blacksmith there gave it to me.
Just gave it to you?
Yeah, she had a whole box of it. And I was like, "Can I have this box of trash?" And she said, "Sure." And I sorted through it, and it was mostly trash, but there was 7 steel ingots in there.
Sure. Okay. So he goes, "Let me look at the ingot."
It's on the floor. He's welcome to look at it.
He's gonna pick up the steel ingot and go to look it over. And as he looks it over, you can roll an insight check if you would like, if you want to gauge his reaction, or you don't have to if you don't think Josie cares.
She'd be watching him.
Sure. You can tell immediately that this is really good steel in his eyes. Like, he looks it over and he is like, oh. And then he goes to look to you and goes, well, this seems like a bit of a tough deal for me. I'm not getting too much that's good for me out of it. But out of the generosity in my heart, if you give me all of the ingots, I'll melt it down for you.
Yeah, real kind of you. There's a caveat to the melting. Happily give you all the ingots. Yours to have for this part of the deal. But, and now I'm not saying this would happen, but hypothetically, if anyone comes sniffing around asking about something like this, you don't know shit.
Ma'am, I'm a government official. I work with the Destin government. I make nails for them. I'm legally obligated to make informed and good decisions based off of what they're telling me to do. So I won't tell them shit, sure.
Perfect. The nail business, I've heard, is very good. People always need nails.
Yeah. They kind of hold things together.
It's poetic.
No, it's literal. He says he starts scooping the steel ingots off of the ground, and, like, in one hand brings him over to, like, a desk. And I want you to know that this is a high elven man. He is ripped, but he has all the features you expect of a high elf, aside from, like, the burns and stuff. So he has the pretty, like, gender-neutral, like, androgynous face and features, but just talks like this, and has long, like, flowing blonde hair. He is tied up in, like, a cooking bun. But he's just completely jacked as well, though.
He's like a combination of Legolas and Gimli into one big right there.
Yeah, in a kind of fucked up way, yes.
That's nice. That's good for them. So yeah, she'd be like, great. How long does it take, you think, to just get that all melted?
I mean, I can put it, if you just want it melted, I can just melt it. Make it into molten metal and use it for something. It won't take long, I'll just take care of it.
I would love to just really watch that happen.
How much time you got?
Well, that's why I was asking how long it would take.
Well, it's gonna take at least an hour.
What time is it?
Early. That's all I can say.
I didn't see anyone else from the party when I left.
I would say no, with the fact that you were, like, getting up as soon as, you were ready in the morning. Like, meditation, pack up, then gone, yeah. You don't see anybody else.
Yeah, I got an hour.
In fact, you know that for most normal sleeping people, you have 4 hours, so.
That's true.
Right, we'll hope that it's normal metal then. If it's a bit of a fancy or fucked up metal, it might take a bit longer.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. And, this, which she dumped it out with it, but she holds up the metal card. This one, for sure, has gotta go.
As he looks at it and goes, ooh, I don't know if I can melt that.
Well, we'll throw it in and see what happens.
Lady, that's, as he holds his hand out, would you offer it to him?
Sure.
Yeah, as he, like, just sort of taps it and then, like, bites on the side of it. You see his tooth crack as he bites down on it. He goes, yeah, lady, that's solid mithril there. I can't melt that.
That shit. Alright. Not that then. But the rest.
He hands it back to you.
She sneers at it, but we'll put it back in the bag.
There's sort of a pretentious aura coming from it, like after staring at it, like it's confident in itself. There's a bit of blood on it after the guy's tooth cracked as well. But okay. As he will start to go burn it, melt it down. We'll move to the other meditators. Astrid, were you meditating or were you sleeping?
She was sleeping.
Okay. Soul, I think you're a meditator at the very least. What are you doing for the 4 hours you have in the morning?
Read.
What would you be...
Stone Jungle's a good place.
Go ahead, say that again?
Stone Jungle's a good place.
Okay, so about the ruins more. Okay. Got it. Silas?
He would have checked for Josie, finding that she's not in the room, probably. Because
Correct.
I definitely started meditating later than her.
Yes, you started meditating later, and Josie, probably got up earlier even, like ending a meditation early enough to be able to do her stuff, so.
Seeing that she's not there, probably scribe on a piece of paper. Let me know if you see Josie, and then slide it under Astrid's door. And then just gonna stand leaning against the building just outside the door in the morning, waiting and keeping an eye out for Josie.
Okay. Alright. Just gonna roll something very quickly. Yeah, Josie, hour goes by and it would be like a fully melted thing of molten metal by this point, as you just take the prongs and hold it up, offer it out to you, making you look into the pot it's in, and goes, "It's melted, it's gone."
Alright. Deal's deal then.
Alright. As he sets the that down. That all?
I mean, unless you've got any... You really just make nails, huh? Make anything cool in, like, your downtime?
I don't know what your definition of cool is, lady, but I make nails, I make ingots, I make beams, and I make a living. And I think that's pretty cool.
I made it one nail, it was like at least 9 inches long.
I mean, respect to that, sir.
You gonna leave after that? Is that you?
Yeah, she'll go.
You're going back to the inn.
Cool nail.
So, Silas, about an hour after, maybe an hour and a half for you, after you get up, you would see, as you're sitting outside, where are you standing outside of? The inn, or were you standing outside of, like, a door inside the inn?
No, just literally outside the inn, so in the cold,
Yeah,
just outside
okay.
the door.
Yeah, as you stand outside, looking over the... I forgot to describe for Josie in the morning. It's cold. There is not snow covering the road, per se. It's sort of shoveled and moved out of the way. But there's snow on the ground. You had to move through some to get to the barracks. And Silas, you'd see Josie walking over from the barracks after exiting the building and walking over to the inn. As Josie, you'd see Silas sat in front of the inn as you approach it.
She will pull the business card out of her bag and go to toss it to him.
Take it.
Roll me a dexterity check for catching it, Silas.
Okay.
Okay. You catch it. It's just, it's... If it smacked you in the face, it would hurt. That's why.
Right.
That's the reason I make you roll for that.
But upon grabbing it, take it, whatever your plan was to do with this. Didn't work out.
It's pure mithril.
I'm no metallurgical expert, but certainly that and the magic entwined with it probably makes it difficult to deal with.
Well, I can't think of a way. It means I don't know of a way to destroy it.
I don't intend to destroy it, I intend to part ways with it.
It feels like it's one of those things that you try to shake it and it's just gonna come round again.
We'll have to see. But it's best that we not carry it with us on our travel.
Well, I'd prefer not to know where it ends up.
So I'll snot his head at that and stick it in his pocket.
Okay.
Shall we get some breakfast?
Is there other people around outside the inn this early?
Like early morning workers who have gone about and moved to their, like, working on the wall, and some folk that you see are getting, loading up their own carriage to move out. Looks like a guard carriage.
Then Josie will sort of just pause and sort of like kicking at the ground and not really making eye contact. She'd ask, What happened with you and our father before we left?
Silas is going to pause. A fiddle with the card in his pocket at this moment. What do you mean by before we left? As in before I came to you and you had the same idea I did already about leaving?
I want to know, I'm ready to know now why you were so confident that he wouldn't be coming after us.
I made it very clear to him that it was not something he was going to accomplish without... Close his eyes for a moment. I need to roll something. Yeah, okay. I made it clear to him that there would be no attempts to come after us in a aggressive fashion.
Is he still alive?
I honestly don't know.
Oh, God, that's worse.
See, here, say that, you know. Didn't have friends that are just going to walk into his home. And okay, Jake.
Okay.
And don't know a lot of what he did. So I hope you will not see me as some villain in this matter. But for him to be physically capable of coming for us would have required nothing short of a miracle.
Yeah, okay.
Josie, what kind of look is she giving him after he said what he did?
She looks confused.
Not upset or disappointed with him, or at him, I should say.
Not currently. Right now, she just looks hella confused.
You remember that I went back to the house because I left something after we initially headed out?
Yeah.
Well, he confronted me when I returned to the house to get what I came back for. And instead of giving him the opportunity to hurt me one more time, I used the last that I had of the meager amount of venom, and I paralyzed him with a single stab. He was left lying and bleeding out. So, as far as I'm concerned, he is dead, but I don't want to say he is dead to you, and there be even a fraction of a chance that I'm incorrect, no matter how small the chance is. I just want you to know that I did that for us. We can't have a clean future if he was to come after us.
Okay. And she's gonna walk inside and try to go back to her room.
Okay.
Silas plops ass down onto the cold ground after that interaction.
What would you be doing for the rest of the time before the main party awakens? It's intended for both of you.
Silas is sitting outside, wondering something that I will send you, Jake.
Sure.
Josie's disassociating.
Sure. I'm gonna call break here though, because I have to pee. So why don't we take 5 minutes? So we'll be back at 8:25. So Okay. So, moving to the rest of the group as you all awaken. Beryl sounds the horn, I imagine. You can stop me if I'm wrong. And then the day starts. So, what would people be doing in the morning if they have anything they'd like to do or talk about in the morning with anybody?
Isaac would wake up in a jolt.
Yeah, you would. Assuredly.
Yeah, assuredly.
Like just a just shooting up in bed, clutching the side of your neck right below your ear.
Yeah, and he'd also probably be insatiably hungry, I'm guessing.
I wouldn't say insatiably. Again, you fought off the hunger, but you'd be hungry, definitely.
Yeah, I'd be hungry. So,
You're definitely eating 2 breakfasts this morning.
Yeah. So he gets himself ready, and he's like, he's freaked out. He's got a nervous look on his face because, he is not really used to the things talking to him. He's usually the one trying to talk to them.
Hey, bud.
And he's pretty freaked out. So he kind of rushes downstairs, and he goes up to the barkeep, and he's just like, breakfast!
Whoa!
Make it a double.
Are you good?
I'm starving, dude.
Okay.
Sorry.
Breakfast then.
Yeah.
So get you 2 breakfasts
And 2 waters.
He'll get you 2 waters too. Silas, you'd hear all of this outside. Whether or not you think he comprehends it is another thing, up to you.
Fair enough.
But it's certainly loud enough with him running down the stairs going, breakfast! Okay, so you're doing that. Anybody else doing anything in the morning? Beryl, I think you get up quicker than most because you sound the horn, so what are you doing as you wake up?
Yeah, I mean... Not like she's got anything pressing. She'll go downstairs and have breakfast.
Sure, and in fact, you would have been down before Isaac because you sound the horn in the morning, so you would have seen that. You would have seen what just happened with him running down the stairs and acting like the animal that he was in that moment.
Hey, he got quite the appetite.
Yeah, I'm real hungry. I guess I didn't eat enough before going to bed. But yeah.
Well, don't eat it too fast. It messes with you real awful. Like.
And Soul, where were you reading initially?
In their room.
Come the time that you expect people to wake up, were you going to be heading down, or were you going to remain in your room reading?
She would have head down.
Okay, so you would have probably bore witness to all of that as well. Because you would have been down already. And probably already had breakfast. I'm good, I promise. There's so much mucus inside of me. And some of it is red.
Oh.
Yeah. So continuing on, Astrid, as you wake up in the morning, are you doing anything?
Not in particular.
Okay. Eventually find your way downstairs then.
Yeah.
And have breakfast if you want. You don't have to. Carolina, how about you?
I would probably also just be heading downstairs to get breakfast.
Got it. So then everyone will be downstairs save Josie and I suppose Silas, who's outside, but technically downstairs. Josie, would you still be disassociated disassociating in your room, or are you done after 3 hours?
Oh no, she'll keep going.
Okay.
She'll just keep staring at that wall, baby.
Sure. So all of you are together, save Silas. Though I suppose I'd say that those of you who are like maybe passive perception 15 or better see Silas outside the window, outside in the front. But you don't see Josie, and it's What do you do?
I would like to go out and play in the snow.
Okay.
Rarely get a chance to actually enjoy that.
So the question would be, going out and playing in the snow, are you doing it close to the road, or are you doing it far away from the road?
She'd be close. She'd start to roll around and make snowballs and stuff. Just nearby.
As in the road, are you are you playing around in the snow by the road, which has been cleared, like at the edge of it, or are you away from it as to not do anything to the road? Okay, away from it. That was the question was. Okay.
Yeah, closer to the inn.
Okay, so you rush outside, rush past Silas, who you'd see sitting on the ground. Silas, you'd see Beryl rush past you. Again, whether or not you're cognizant of it is entirely up to you.
Doesn't react either way.
Okay, as you go to play in the snow. Rest of you, as Beryl just rushed out, what do you do? All of you together, save Josie, Beryl, and technically Silas as well.
Well, we need to leave relatively quickly, correct? To get across the plains, I believe, before night falls.
So I think once everyone's finished here, I think we should gather and get ready to get going.
I'll prepare the horse then, and Astrid will go outside to get whiskey ready.
Sure.
Throw a snowball at Astrid when she comes out.
Roll a dexterity weapon attack.
I absorb it.
Plus
There's a
3.
Does a 18 hit you, Astrid?
Yeah.
So you'd get pinged by a snowball, and you feel it more from the force of the throw, not actually the cold as it hits into you.
Oh!
Astrid does let it knock her over. She just falls on her face.
I rush over really quickly. So sorry! I didn't know. I didn't mean to throw it so hard. Are you alright?
Astrid is going to grab a handful of snow and try to shove it down Beryl's shirt.
Yeah, I'll say that, it probably just happens with Beryl being taken by surprise and you being right in front of her. It just happens.
And I got you back.
You did. Just sort of just does a big shake.
I'm going to get whiskey ready.
Oh, all right. Do you need any help?
I believe we're still waiting on Josie, so if you'd like to inform Silas that she hasn't come down yet, that might be useful.
I just look over him 4 feet away from him. Silas, Josie hasn't come down yet.
Josie could probably even hear that from her room, but up to Josie whether she's cognizant of it or not.
No.
Silas doesn't react to Carl yelling that.
I just look at Astrid with a puzzled look on her face, go get her.
Give her a little bit more time. It'll take me a bit to get whiskey ready to begin with.
All right. Beryl will just go and sit down next to Silas.
Doesn't even react still.
going and getting whiskey ready, Astrid, so you're going and doing that. Is anybody else doing anything?
I guess at this time, after I finish eating, I'll go outside and wait for Astrid, like by the tavern.
Okay. So I guess the question comes up here because the question comes up is either how long is Josie disassociating in her room, or how long is it until someone decides to do something about it? is the other thing as well.
I mean, I would wait until Astrid came back with whiskey in the
Okay.
wagon.
Alternatively, as well, on the flip side, how long would Silas remain the way he is? Ben.
Once she pulls up with the carriage, he's just gonna wordlessly climb up to the back of it.
Sure. So I guess the carriage is the defining key here. As Astrid, as you get the carriage ready and go to load up, a raven flies over and lands for a moment, looking around, spots you, and then flies over to you and lands on the side of a carriage. Sort of makes eye contact with you and leaves what looks like a letter, a envelope on the seat next to you, and then takes off.
Astrid will go to open it.
Sure. As you go to open it and you read it, it is from Satanta, as he informs you all, or he is informing you to inform everyone, whoever gets the letter, that he has started making his way towards Zillion, where he will be investigating the matter going on with the cult. So he has begun his travel and has already left Wolford and is a bit a ways in his journey. He expects that you guys should be arriving to Breeline, like, around now-ish or in a bit. Like, now-ish or about, like, a half day. Like, you can tell his expectation is you have arrived today or will within the next day or so. And it's just a very simple, short, and clean status update, except for one thing at the bottom, where he attaches a little afterword and goes, inform Isaac for me that I did get overruled on the matter with the serial killer, and he is, in fact, getting his last burial requests. I was overruled.
Okay. Did the raven stick around?
I mean, it wouldn't have, but if you wanted to do something before reading it, you could have, but it wouldn't have stuck around to see you read the letter. It would have just dropped off the letter and left.
Okay. Astrid will scrawl a quick reply. How far are we out from Breland?
I believe you're about half a day from what they said to you yesterday. It's about a half a day travel.
I thought that was just half a day to cross the scary plains.
No, the Scary Plains is connected to Breeline.
Oh, perfect.
Breeline sits in the middle of the plains, basically.
Okay. Then, you know what? If we're going to get there today, I'll wait till we're actually there to tell him we're there.
Sure. To remind you, though, you do have the whistle.
I know.
Okay, so you'll wait. Okay, got it. And then you're going to get the carriage moving and get moving toward, the group.
Yep.
All right. So I hope someone's been keeping track of your daily rations for whiskey. And okay, good. All I'd say is that you don't have to subtract 4 this day because he would have been fed at the stable.
Nice.
So do not subtract 4 this day. And that I will inform you when that's not the case. Some stable, well, if you pay for a stable, they're going to feed your horse. Usually.
Crazy.
But okay. As Astrid would pull the carriage out, as you'd see the carriage is loaded up and pulled out a bit a ways from the inn. She can't pull it up right in front of it with how the stable is situated, but it is out and ready, and Astrid, you'd see some of your companions sitting outside the inn.
Beryl, would you mind fetching Josie if she's difficult? Could you just pick her up, I suppose?
Sure. I'll head back inside. Head to Josie's room.
Okay. You arrive outside Josie's door. What do you do?
I'll knock.
There'd be a knock at your door, Josie.
She'll kind of shake at that and get up and go open it.
You'd see Beryl.
Hi. We're heading out soon.
Oh, okay. Then she will gather her stuff and wordlessly follow Beryl out to the carriage.
Okay. Would Josie have eaten today already?
No.
Okay. Good to know. And is there anybody else who is not going to be eating at the inn or has not eaten for the day yet, as in their breakfast?
Silas.
Yes, I assume that was also the case. Okay. Okay. The carriage would be outside upon your arrival, Josie. As what do you all do?
Astrid will pass the note to Isaac so he can either read it out loud to everybody in the carriage or just give them the summary.
He'd read it out loud.
Yep, same thing you read that I told Astrid, and then the afterword about how he was overruled on the matter with the serial killer, and he got his final burial request.
Isaac would frown at that and be like, well, let's hope nothing comes of this.
And if everybody's in, Astrid will get going.
Alright. So all of you would be in then, and travel begins. Are any of you going to do or say anything on the road as you begin to travel?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Isaac has this nervous look about him. He's got bags under his eyes. It's clear that he had a bad night's sleep, and he's kind of not what's the word? He's kind of fidgeting about, he has something on his mind, and he turns to Silas and he says, "So that thing that guy left you, that card, it was magical, right?"
Silas very slowly looks up towards you from his spacing towards the floor of the carriage. Not now, Isaac.
It was just a question. I mean, it had magic on it, right?
Silas is going to pull the card out of his pocket and just tosses it over to Isaac.
Isaac grabs it like a poor child who has never seen a penny.
Roll dex check as you go to catch it. After Silas tosses it. Yeah, it smacks you in the face and it hurts.
Yeah, that's fair. He would just quickly pocket it and just shut his mouth.
Okay.
Is everything alright, Isaac? You look like you didn't get a good night's sleep again.
Yeah, I'm known to have insomnia on occasion.
Yeah.
Last night was I don't know. I guess I slept on my neck wrong. I woke up with a really bad pain.
How are you feeling now?
Better now that I ate.
that's good. Just try and relax a bit.
Yeah.
James, sound more like a serial killer, real quick.
Try to relax a bit.
I don't know, I mean, Silas just gave someone who's kind of manic right now something like that. I don't know. I'm a little worried.
Is that you saying that? Is James or Carolina saying that?
That's me saying that is James.
Okay.
Alright.
Carolina will just after that interaction, we'll just take out one of her books and start reading.
Sure. Pace. What pace are you traveling at?
If we're only a half a day away, Ashton's just going to go at a normal pace
Okay.
because we're going to get there pretty quick anyway. And if something emergency happens, then I can step on the gas.
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 Sure. Does anyone else have anything they want to say, do, or roleplay before I get to a big moment? Before I get to start describing things for probably a bit.
Silas just mutter under his breath in Isaac's direction. That doesn't make it to Brayline.
So Isaac would pick it up and just nod quickly.
He's not looking at you anymore. He only looks when you trust him.
Okay.
If it's something that anyone thinks they would notice or comment on, Josie no longer has a large gun on her back.
That's true. The gun is gone. As Josie's gun is now gone, nowhere in sight.
Isaac normally would, but he is distracted.
With what Silas said, Isaac, you trying to do anything with that before, you arrive at Brayline?
Yeah, he's just trying to think about how to broach the subject.
Sure. So, how... It'll probably be a bit before you bring it up again, if I'm assuming correctly. Because this was start of travel.
This is start of travel?
So, my question would be, are you bringing this up near instantly again, or is Isaac stewing on it for a bit?
He's taking like about 10 minutes to think about it. And
Okay, then there's no reason for me to start my thing yet. Go ahead.
And then he's going to be like, don't worry. He's going to like say this out loud so that Astrid and Beryl can hear it because they're in the front, correct?
Yes.
There may be a little bit of a flashing light. Don't worry about it. It's cool.
What do you mean?
Somebody else back there. Is it actually cool, or is he doing something weird?
I head to the tent.
I mean, I would just recommend you guys cover your eyes for a sec.
What do you
Not because I don't want you to see, but I just don't want you guys blinded. I don't know if this will blind anybody, but... And he would take the card with his rod, and he would touch it against the card.
That's interesting. I did not consider this. Whew.
I keep my eyes wide open.
And I need you to roll me, why don't you roll me a D4?
A D4.
We'll see something about this.
How many personalities are currently trapped in your rod that you don't know about?
I rolled a 1.
Okay. Wow. You take the rod and you press it against the card. At first, with the intention of doing what you did to the necklace with it. And for a second, like, nothing happens. Like, you're just pressing it against it, but nothing occurs. And then afterward, light begins to emanate from the rod as it begins to just glow with that faint red light that it did when it was consuming before. And then you see the card begin to glow as well as it shakes slightly in your hand pressed up against the rod, and you guys just hear what sounds like beginning like cracks just like throughout the surface of this as you just hear snap, crack, as the card begins to bend the metal. As it gets really hot in your hand, Isaac. Hot enough that you shoot your hand away, cry out in pain, but it sticks to the tip of the item still, as it is almost magnetically attached to it, as you just see it beginning to crumple up like a piece of paper against it. And the card emanates a strange energy as it is pulled into the rod. As you see, it glows with a sort of primal and very, very deep reddish orange color, like a burning flame, just a very primal color, as that flashes and shimmers and then just gets completely pops as the rod shoots back in your hand, very hot after, and the chunk of metal falls to ground and then disintegrates slowly.
Well, that is one way of getting rid of it, I assume.
And as you look to the ground, the particles left by it are less dust and almost like fragments of like very, very small crystals almost on the ground.
Is that all? I was thinking a bit more than that.
No, that was it. It did the trick.
Okay. Harold shrugs and then turns back to the road.
So I'm assuming that's why you didn't get a very good night's sleep last night. Thinking about doing this all day.
No, this was well, it was a recent thought, but not one that affected my sleep. No.
Right. Well, if that's all, I guess we should continue on. Carolina will go back to her book.
It's used to this shit by now.
And if anyone is doing anything in reaction to what just happened with Isaac, feel free to. Okay. As the forward momentum of the cart moving eventually leads to the sprinkles on the ground beginning to just slide away out of the back of the carriage, until eventually there's very little of it left on the ground. As the carriage departs from the fort, it moves past the maw-like stone drawbridge way, and reveals out a hill-like pass going down to a very open and wide plains area. And because of just the flat plains and the very open area around you, you can see for very far off in the distance, as Astrid and those at the front, the minute you make way out, you see off in the distance this massive city surrounded by stone walls just at the center of these plains, with what looks like a river cutting through and moving at the side of it as you approach, as you see what looks almost like a massive keep in the center of this city off in the distance, surrounded by these walls that you would almost expect from a military installation, Astrid, as you look out and you see this large keep. And it's big. Not quite the size of a castle, but again, it's a keep, so it's like right below it. And you sort of get the understanding about what you were told the other day now about how Breline used to be a fortress city, or not a fortress city. It used to be a keep or a fortress for Destined Military a long time ago. That makes sense to you now as you see the massive keep in the distance. As you start to move your way down the hill, going past these sprawling plains, covered very lightly in snow, there's not a lot of wildlife about. Aside from what looks like these strange-looking elk, caribou, deer-like creatures making their way about the plains with snow-white fur, and when they look up, what look like glowing ember eyes, as they are feeding about the plains as they eat whatever remains of grass, and you'd even see them chewing on some bark and branches as well as they are moving about the plain. As you travel and move, observing these creatures as basically the only creatures you're seeing for most of the travel. However, as well, in the distance, after about 2 hours of travel, you begin to see these massive creatures moving about the plains as well. As almost built in a way like a camel, but with no fur. These massive, titanic creatures that you only see in the distance. They are thousands of feet from you, but because of their size, you can see them. These massive, camel-shaped bodied, creatures with, almost this strange, what's the word? Long neck, and then what is not a head. There's no head. Instead, at the end of this long neck, there's an elephant-like, trunk, going off the front of it, and you see no, eyes or mouth, these titanic creatures, thousands of ways in the distance, as they move across the plains, as their backs, as you can tell, are covered in this snow as well. As they move, they are huge. You can tell without even getting close to them. You never get any closer to them as well. There appears to be what looks like but two of them, east of you, as you move your way, far away from the city and far away from you as well. As you continue your travel, seeing those, nothing else of, real, note after that, catches your eye as you continue up your travel. Because those were pretty eye-catching. And after, half your travel duration, you begin to pull up on this very, refined main road, as you see what looks like a patrol of guards, moving about the side of this, stone bridge that connects the, gravel road to this stone main road, as they are maintaining these little towers at the side of it, just moving a patrol about their day. They see you as you're approaching the bridge. They just give you some nods and waves as you guys cross over the very bright stream going underneath the bridge as well. And as you make your way onto this stone bridge and cross over, you begin to see what look like connecting roads further into the distance off on the sides of these stone roads as well that you can see. And as you begin to pull up, making your way toward the city, you can see the walls better now. They stand tall, taller than you've seen for any city before in your lives, most of you, except for Isaac, as Praxmoor's walls are larger by a mile, Isaac. You've seen them before. But not like a literal mile, but actually, but very big. I'm realizing now that is a length of measurement, so... at least a length of distance.
In comparison to Wolford, how big is Breline?
Wolford is an actual city. Wolford's a town. Breline is an actual city. So, it's like about the size of 2 Wolfords you could expect. In the most simple way I can describe it. It's much larger than Wolford, though. It is a very large city. As you begin pulling up, you see the wall off in the distance. You have some ways off still. On the sides of the road, other carriages begin to pull up and start to merge onto the road you are taking toward the city as well. As the clatter and noise of other people atop their carriages is heard. And there's some, traffic movements about, people nodding to each other, getting on, and so on and so forth. As at least 2 other carriages are ahead of you as you're making your way up toward this gate for the next few hours. It's about, what's the word? You left pretty early. It's about late afternoon by this point. If you were to hazard a guess, like 5, maybe 6 p.m. as you're beginning your travel closer toward the city. Do any of you have anything you want to do or anything as you're getting closer and actually seeing your destination, before you? Is there anything anyone wants to do? Any sort of final preparations, roleplay, or such before I move to the next major thing that happens?
Silas, would you mind passing me up the badge in case they need it at the gate?
Silas will reach into his bag and pull out the badge and step over to the front and offer it out to Astrid.
Sure.
Thank you. If they don't need to see it, I'll give it right back.
Barely gives a nod of acknowledgement and then goes and sits back down.
Okay. Anything else?
Just, Beryl is not full-blown panic mode freaking out, but just visibly nervous at the prospect of getting close to this city.
So where to the gate?
Few hours still. If you'd like that measured in feet, I don't exactly know, but probably a lot.
Silas, the ice.
Astrid has it.
So I guess we'll peek her head out.
Mm-hmm.
The front. Astrid, toss the ice. Far as you can.
No.
Going from there.
Because we're currently moving. Once we've made our stop in the city, if you would like to play around with it, that's fine, but I'm not just going to throw it so you can shoot fire at it.
She gives a disappointed look and then puts her head back in the carriage.
Okay.
Please remind me once we're there, but no fire while we're traveling. I thought we established that.
Without making eye contact with you, Soul, Silas is just he's gonna say, Soul, you should be aware there's a individual from my sisters and my homeland of great power and wealth is after my sister.
Is this about last night?
Yes.
Said it.
Stops talking. Good, Rogue. It sounded like you were about to say something, bud.
So long as you travel with me, you and your sister are under my protection.
You do not need to explain. A time comes, someone comes, I will act accordingly.
I also actually say up front, Beryl, Astrid, are you capable of turning around for a moment?
Sorry, say that again.
Silas asked if Beryl and Astrid are both capable of turning around for a moment.
Turning like into the wagon.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably can, but I don't think the horse can drive itself. I turn to Astrid. Can the horse drive itself?
If we're on a straight road for the most part, yes.
I turn back. Apparently, the horse can drive itself. What's up?
In fact, that's literally what a horse does.
Yeah, I know.
Does Astrid turn around?
Yeah, Esther will turn around.
Silas is going to get near the back of the carriage, not looking like he's going to jump or anything crazy. Turn back around towards all of you, and he's going to get down on his knees in a bowing fashion and lower his like face all the way to the ground floor of the carriage, and say, "No, I have not always made things the easiest between any of us, but I want to express my sincere and complete gratitude for what you all are willing to do for my sister."
Of course, there's no need to bow. I mean, we're friends, right?
Honestly, I'd much prefer it if you just went back to acting how you normally do. The bowing thing is kind of weird.
Yeah, I'm kind of freaked out too.
Damn, Silas has conditioned these people so much, you'd rather be an asshole.
It's weird, dude.
Are you trying to kill us all? Are you gonna kill us?
Is this your ritual way of apologizing before you kill us?
No.
I don't
I was
think.
gonna get up and sit down.
It's like a weird submission ritual. I don't like it.
Because it would just be so in line with Silas and everything he's about. Like the moment he shows the first sign of like gratitude. And
Now I
kindness.
must kill you.
Like, are you? I don't understand. What are you trying to say?
I'm not sure Silas is the one I would have to worry about that with. As I kind of glance quickly over at Isaac. But yes, of course. Get up. You'd probably do the same for us, I would hope. If a situation comes up. We've already been on this journey with each other long enough to know that you don't need to thank us. Just go back to being yourself.
Unless you haven't been yourself this whole time, and this is the real you.
It's for you too, Josie.
What?
I know things are hard for you, but we're in this together.
Josie just starts sort of like laughing a little bit to herself.
I mean, speaking of Josie, I think we should all get together a list of like foods we really like because she had never had an apple before the other night, and I think that might be a little fun bonding activity we could all participate in.
Sure.
Yeah, I mostly ate porridge.
Jake, I'm gonna need a list of all the foods that I've never had before.
Porridge.
I don't think I'd be able to. I don't think I'd be able to tell you that out of character.
It's just porridge.
It's porridge.
It's porridge all the way
Josie,
down.
porridge all the
Have
way
you
there.
ever had strawberries?
No.
I'm definitely going to get you some strawberries.
I've never had a strawberry, but I have had a raw berry before.
There's no
Are they-
fucking way Beryl has not had a strawberry.
Are they the same thing? No, because we've got something in the Feywild called a raw berry. Is it the same thing as a strawberry?
What
What
does
does
a
it
raw
look
berry
like?
Well, it's like a light pink. It's fairly small, but it's very sweet, and you feel very energized all day
Is
after
it
eating it.
covered with little seeds?
No,
Then it's
What?
not a strawberry.
right?
That
Well,
does
then
sound
I
interesting. I
then
would
I've never
wanna
had a
try it.
strawberry before.
I would want to try a raw berry.
You'd like them. They're very tasty.
It seems we all come from different walks of life with food. We'll definitely. Well, Brewline is a big city. We'll probably find some things here.
I hope they have bread pudding. I love bread pudding.
How is bread a pudding?
It's
That just sounds texturally unpleasant.
it's hard to describe. You have to try it first. But they'll probably have it. I'm sure there's some
Oh.
bakeries around.
What's a pudding?
Oh, Beryl, we're gonna treat you well.
As you guys have this conversation and continue trickling down the road,
Girl just takes out her notebook and
another few,
starts writing down a bunch of fucking random.
another like half hour passes as you're beginning to pull up closer to the gate. As you all sit in the carriage and the wide expanse of the plains are around you, two carts stand at the front of you that are moving forward, and what looks like a patrol of guard, about 4 guards, is moving past you all, just walking across the snowy ground as you're pulling up closer toward this, toward the city. And all seems calm and clear, for the most part, as you are pulling closer toward the city, making your way up. It's a cold day, but, well, not day anymore, as it is basically nighttime. Not nighttime, it is mid-afternoon, late afternoon. But before you can get any further, one of the guards turns rapidly, eyes widen, weapons drawn toward the side of the road, and then the rest do, as one of the people at the carriage in front of you just cries out in a panic, just going, "Oh shit!" And you all see, almost sort of barreling out of nowhere, which is sort of impressive, because again, this is plains with basically nothing between you and most stuff. This massive creature starts to barrel its way toward the carriages, just covering what looks like what is sorry, bad at math. Just covering what is 120 feet almost instantly with ease as it rushes toward the carriages you are on, toward the road, as this massive creature has a lizard-like body, with what is yellowish tan skin. No, sorry, yellowish scales across the body, and then from the base of its body where the head would be, there is no neck, no head. Instead, a slight stub where several serpent-like necks begin to rise up as this seven-headed creature rushes toward the caravan. The serpent-like necks go up and up, covered in yellow scales until they get to the top of the head, where they start to be cut off and sort of fuse with what looks like a brownish fur, as you see this massive lizard serpent-like creature hybrid, a hydra to most of you in like fantasy terms, rushing toward the carriage, but the serpent-like heads not ending with snake heads, but instead the heads of boars, as these large boar heads sit at the front of this creature's head. Massive tusks at the front of it, and as their mouths open, snake-like fangs on the inside of their mouths. Their eyes glow a slight red as the guard and the carriage in front of you are in a panic as they ready their weapons to go and attack. However, before this creature can make it fully to reach you all, you see off in the distance a figure just rushing through the air as if propelled, as this humanoid figure just dressed in armor carrying a massive greatsword, propelled forward almost by the weight of it, lands directly in front of this multi-headed boar serpent creature, with his greatsword just pushed out in front of him and just tries to stop the movement as he rushes forward as the creature makes its way forward. And then you hear a call out in common from a voice off in the distance go, "Close your eyes!" As you hear what sounds like a ploop and something flying through the air. Do any of you not follow the instruction given by the voice that just called out?
Oh, I close my eyes.
Yeah, me too.
Anyone not closing their eyes?
Nah, he closes his eyes.
Okay, then what happens is your eyes close and you just feel massive, you just know that a massive burst of light goes off as your eyes are closed, and you hear this hog, this boar creature just let out a cry and a squeal as it does not get blinded, unfortunately, but it does retch back, getting distracted, as what looks like a woman pulls up at the side, dressed in scale armor with a large bow, where she had just fired what was that thing that set off that blast of light. As she rushes to the side, and then moving at the back as well, you can see another individual dressed in what looks like very light hide scale armor, with what looks like a cutlass in one hand and a dagger in the other, rushing up. And to give you a better visual of the situation, I am going to pull you guys to the battle map I have. Okay, so before I go about and do the descriptions I need to, you guys are here. You can organize yourselves in the back of the carriage however you like. This is your carriage with whiskey, but Beryl and Astrid cannot be organized any differently. That is where you two are situated. Yep. Those of you in the back can do whatever you like. These are the carriages with the people in front of you. Let's see, I will drop, where is it? Oh, sorry about that. I'll drop some, one.
It's riding the whip.
This would be the individual with the great sword that pulled forward and blocked the road of the Hydra as it rushed forward and bit and is now like going and trying to bite down at this individual as he blocks it. And you just hear a voice just go, "Not on my watch!" as he's just pushing back against it. As you see as well the individual with the bow, the elven woman directly at the back, rushing up as well. This massive bow, much larger than a longbow, pulling up with what looks like 2 arrows already in her hands, ready to be loosed. And then what looks like a human man, dressed again in leather's hide armor, rushing up, black hair, and with a cutlass in one hand and then what looks like a dagger in the other. And the dagger as well, to those of you who have higher than 16 passive perception, has what looks like these loose prongs at the side of it, like a claw almost. As they pull up, and the guards are taken aback, preparing their weapons still, they look as they're about to charge, and the individual with the greatsword just looks back and goes, "Well, handle it! Just get out of here!" And just pushes the creature back and prepares his greatsword and looks to like he's about to go and fight this thing. As before I call for anything, what are you all going to do?
Does Beryl know what that creature is at all in any capacity?
Roll me a you can roll me a survival check, actually. Don't recognize it. No.
Okay.
Its general shape and like the look of it reminds you of a creature that you know of. It exists in the Feywild, but you don't recall the name of it. And you also definitely remember it didn't have boar heads.
Beryl's gonna turn to Astrid and say, Are we just gonna let them handle it on their own?
I mean, considering we're going to be working for the city, and we might as well start now.
That's all Beryl needed to hear. And Beryl will go to,
Alright, then we're gonna roll
her
this.
Maquahito.
Okay. Is anyone not going to be taking part of this that has something else they're wanting to do? I mean, the carriage is stopped, I imagine, so. Alright. You all can roll your initiatives as you like. Oof. And you don't have
for some combat.
And you don't even have danger sense yet, so that's not a.
Nope.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Alright, I will begin rolling for these individuals.
Look at the Hydra. You look like just enough XP to level up.
No, it's funny that you say that because it's thinking the same exact thing about you.
Oh
Good.
no!
Good.
So this hog Hydra, I have to roll its initiative.
Hogdra.
Little does the Hogdra know that if it kills me, it can't finish one of the important side quests.
Oh, you're a critical NPC.
Quest failed.
No, restart.
Load my save.
Quick save.
The amount of times we make a quick save joke in D&D.
Okay. Alright. As Then, with you all deciding to intervene, we move to combat. Before I have it go to Josie, the guards look out to the carriages and just go, "Go, go, go!" as the carts in front of you just whip the horses and begin to rush off, basically vanishing from sight as they rush down the way. And the guards begin to move as well. As one of the guards looks back as he, before he moves as full, as he looks back to you all, not moving, and just looks to you and is confused, like, "Come on, we gotta move!" And Astrid and Beryl, you'd see that. Do you do anything or say anything to him?
Would you mind taking our horse in? Just trade? Not permanently.
Don't worry, we're here to help.